What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades. And today, guys, I am super stoked to be able to bring you a knife that I'm just really excited about adding to my personal collection. I'm really excited. I'm thrilled to be able to bring it to you guys and get some good video of this knife up so you know what it's all about. What we've got here is the new Civivi Incite Shred carbon fiber and Damascus model. We've seen this pop up since the first pics that I saw were from the Blade West show. And I got to tell you, I fell in love with this knife from the get-go. Now, this particular version is in the copper foil in the handles. There is another version with gold foil in the handles. So let's get this thing out of the box. It's typical Civivi box, guys. We don't need to explore that. And it's Civivi pouch here. In this pouch is going to be your... right now, they're putting these wee Civivi stickers in. You've got some manufacturer's information warranty stuff, Civivi branded microfiber polishing cloth, and then in a Civivi branded baggie, you've got the knife itself. Let's set this stuff aside and take our first look. Guys, it is going to be extremely hard to keep my light glare off of this. I apologize for that. I've got my lighting turned down so low already, guys. Out of the 10 bulbs in my lights, I'm using 3. So here's what you got, guys. Look at this handle material. It is so very unique. I have never seen its like before. Not from anybody, guys. Not from anybody at all. I've never seen anything like this. And, yeah, I apologize for that light glare, guys. Let's take a look at this Damascus blade right here. Again, super polished. So there we go. There's Baz on Blades right there. Hey, Baz on Blades. All right. Very, very well done overall, guys. Very well done. We just want to look at it straight out of the box. That's what you guys want right now, is to see this knife and to see what this handle material is. And it is very unique, guys, in that it is the most three-dimensional use of carbon fiber I have ever seen in any handle material. What it is it is like a clear resin where this chunky shredded carbon fiber and copper foil are just floating free through that resin. It's not like it's all mushed together in one solid, guys, and it gives you I hope I'm capturing it, guys. It gives you so much depth. These handle scales look deep, guys. They don't look like they're 1/8 of an inch thick when you start looking at them. They look deep. And what it reminds me of is a couple of things. Now, I'm a sci-fi fan, and you've seen this in sci-fi and in the mutant movies and all of that jazz. You see a creature that is partially solid material and partially energy, okay? And it's just a swirling mass, and the carbon fiber is sort of like that solid material, and then the copper behind it and mixed in is like just energy moving around in there. And that's what this looks like, guys. It's hands down the most incredible handle material I've seen on any of the quote-unquote budget knives, guys. And let's talk about that first. Yes, this is pushing the boundaries for a budget knife. It is MSRP'd at $99.99. I did pick this one up from Justin at White Mountain Knives and used a 10% discount code. So that was $89.99 shipped. That is very expensive for what we're calling a budget knife. But I think if you break budget knives into 3 tiers and have a low end and a mid end and a high end, I think it's still appropriate in some ways to call it a budget knife. Especially considering the materials, the appearance, the fit and finish, the action, all of that. For that $89.99, it's just a hell of a deal. Now, let's talk about dimensions on this. It is a full-size knife. The Incite is a full-size knife. It's a 3 3/4 inch blade length, and that's about 9 1/4 centimeters. The blade stock thickness, guys, is 119 thousandths, or about 3 millimeters. Blade width, 1.2 inches, or 31 millimeters. Your handle length, 4 7/8 of an inch, or 12 centimeters. Handle thickness, just slightly over normal at 568 thousandths, and it is radiused, guys, and that's 14.4 millimeters. Your handle width at the widest, which is at the pivot, 1.35 inches, or 34.5 millimeters. Your closed width, not too bad, guys. It's full-sized, 1.5 inches wide, or 39 millimeters. Overall length, about 8.5 inches, or 21.5 centimeters. Stop pin diameter. Stop pin is pretty chunky, guys. It's 158 thousandths, or 4 millimeters. That's a nice, stocky, chunky stop pin for 120 thousandths blade stock thickness. Your handle to blade ratio is 0.77. Let's talk about behind the edge thickness. It's not thick at all. It should be called behind the edge thinness on all these Civivi knives. Again, this thing is extremely thin behind the edge. I got 100 and, let's see, what did I get? 16 thousandths. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm wanting to say 100, but 16 thousandths of an inch, or 0.41 millimeters behind the edge. It was very consistent from termination through the middle of the grind and out to the tip. It went between 14 and 16 thousandths, so I called it 16 thousandths, guys. The weight, 4.3 ounces, or 123 grams. Not too bad for a knife that's 8.5 inches overall, with a 3 3/4 inch blade length. Now, we've got that out of the way. We're going to talk about material. Nobody knows much about this stainless Damascus. It has been said that one of the steels is 9CR18 MOV, and you know what? That's not too bad, guys. If you've got two steels, they're around that level, and they're saying the performance level is going to be 440C level. I'm pretty good with that. I don't really care what the other steel is. If it's the appropriate performance level and able to etch out one steel against the other, then I'm good to go with that. 440C level performance? Hell yeah. Bass on Blades remembers when 440C was the premium stainless steel, period. It was the premium stainless steel. A lot of you young whippersnappers don't remember that, guys, but 440C is just as good as it was when it was the stainless steel. So I'm pretty good with that as far as materials. This material right here, I don't even, it's like I'm going to tell you a story. Jeffrey Orthopedic, my man on the street, got his in the mail, and got it a day before me, and he sent me about 20 photos, guys. He was taking photos under different lighting from different angles, and he was getting all artsy-fartsy, and he was all in and out and everything, man. He has all these different angles, and he was killing me. He was doing it on purpose because he knew that I didn't have mine yet, and I think that he was just picking at me, guys. I think he was like, yeah, I got mine already. So, I mean, good for him, but I don't even remember what I was talking about. I'm just looking at this knife through the camera, just looking at it. Look at the fit and finish on that. I don't want to go into fit and finish yet, guys. I want to talk about this handle material, but it's crazy. This handle material is crazy. It looks very glossy, doesn't it? It is glossy, but it's the type of gloss that it's not slick. It's sort of not tacky, but just the surface character of it is, you can see that it's dragging the skin of the pad of my finger here. My finger does not want to slide easily on it. It does have a glossy look, but if you look across the gloss, and I don't know if that's showing up, everywhere that the carbon fiber is at the surface is satin. The surface of the carbon fiber, each carbon fiber piece is satin in that glossiness, guys. The handle material is extremely unique in so many different ways, and I'm telling you, at the end of this video, we're going to step outside and take a look at it under natural light, because the copper just looks like fire in it, guys. And that's what this handle material looks like. It is like fire. It is like fire. I'm telling you right now, what is today? It's January, the first week of January. Here is your winner for Budget Knife of the Year for 2020 right now, guys. I keep saying I don't know how they're going to beat each other anymore on these budget knives. But this right here, guys, I don't see how anybody's going to beat it. I don't see how anybody's going to beat it as far as materials go. Oh my goodness, yeah. Let's talk about fit and finish. It's Civivi, guys. It's Civivi. They're doing such a good job on this stainless Damascus. I've never worked with stainless Damascus, but I have worked with carbon Damascus, and I have heard that stainless, it's much harder to get a quality finish on because it has to be buffed afterwards. And it's just a harder material to work with than carbon, and it's it's a totally different look, than carbon Damascus. But it's a very premium look, guys, and there's a premium look to the machining on this, to the grinds. Everything is super flat. There's no distortion in any of these grinds indicating dips or uneven places. I mean, there's zero distortion across the grind, guys. It's perfect. It's fabulous. That primary grind is fabulous. You got this sort of forward pseudo choil here that will work if you pull back against the back side of the flipper here. It will work as a forward finger choil, let you get up on the blade to do some slicing, but it also is an excellent sharpening choil. You are totally out of the plunge and into what I call the flat of the blade, the nominal thickness of the primary grind here is what it is. So you're going to be able to sharpen this without a smiley face on it. The secondary bevel is even on both sides and from tip to termination. Speaking of tip, it is very sharp, guys. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it in this blade profile, this wide, very modern leaf-shaped drop point. Now, while we're talking about the shape of the blade here, let's bring out its brother, the Praxis, which I also have in the Damascus here. You can see that there is a similar design language, of course, between these two blades. You've got a slightly less radical drop on the Praxis and a more leaf shape, as you see on the primary edge here, how at the termination it rises back up a little bit. Not a recurve, but it's just a continuous radius the whole length. There's not really any straightness here. On the inside, you do have the straight edge. Then you go into the belly right here, which continues to the tip, a continuous radius. Other than that, very, very similar. The Praxis a little wider and you're a little narrower here, but very little. Size-wise, You're pretty equal there also. So those of you that have the praxis already, you'll know about what size you're looking at here on this knife. Now, fit and finish on the handle. Oh, wait a second. One more thing on the blade. The jimping is legit. This is legit jimping, guys. It's good. I'm so surprised with this level of finish on this blade. They have been able to keep edges that actually catch and hold your skin on this jimping. It is very well done. Kudos to Civivi for that. Very well done. And there's of course, no billboarding on this blade at all. You don't even get a steel indicator because they're keeping that steel secret. Just calling it Chinese Damascus is what they're doing. Let's see, fit and finishing the handle. As far as the scales to the liners, to the back spacer, all of that is typical Civivi, guys. It is done in the typical way, and it's very good. It's tight finish. There's no gaps anywhere or anything. I was surprised. I thought from the photos I had seen that the pocket clip and liners would be in a satin finish, but they are not. They are in a fine bead blast finish. It's a very smooth, silky bead blast finish that it still does have some sheen to it. Okay, it still does, and the liners are done in the same finish, guys. Of course, the screws, the very high quality in-house made Civivi screws are in a as machine finish. This knife does feature the new engraved pivot cap, Civivi pivot cap, guys. And let's see, it's T8 hardware everywhere. T8 hardware everywhere. I think even on, I haven't put a bit on that, but that might be T8, guys. I can't tell because I'm looking through the camera. So we won't worry about that. If it's T6, it's T6. If it's T8, it's T8 on the pocket clip. That very good skeletonized deep carry pocket clip. Very good stuff, guys. You see how much the screws are sticking up in that pocket clip? 0. That's going to go right in and out of your pocket. Plenty of rise here, but it's bent back for a flat, so it's not, you don't get a bad hot spot there as far as that tip goes. I can feel the pocket clip, but it's not intrusive. And guys, I'm not going to go out and use this on the work site. I'm just not going to do it. If you guys want to take this knife out and use it to work with, I mean, go for it. It's a knife. It's a liner lock, bearing flipper. Just keep that in mind, but I'm not going to use it that way. This is going to be a showpiece. I think as intended by Civivi. Yes, it's a knife, guys, and you can cut anything that you could cut with it. But I just don't see that heavy-duty use, guys. I think that it's tripping me out, sort of, to show my age, that I've got what I might consider a light carry safe queen in a knife that's less than $100. That's not something I would have ever thought before. That's crazy, guys. But that's what this is. It's not that it's so expensive. I can't damage it or anything, but it's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. I don't want to damage it. I want to be able to pull it out and people go, ooh, and ah, and make sexual sounds when they look at it. You know, that's what I want, especially if it's like a hot chick. I don't know how that, as far as use, how you're going to look at it or whatever, guys. That it's just the fit and finish. It's Civivi, guys. It's Civivi. It's this handle material. This handle material is where it's at, guys. Not to take anything away from the Damascus here, But, oh, come on, Damascus is so 2019. This is 2020 right here, guys. Now, let me point out something on my handle scales. On the front side, the show side, the foil, the copper foil, is a little bit further back and more subdued, except at the tail end here. It's totally random. On the back, the scale has a center section that's got the copper up front, and then it's more subdued towards the tip further back in the mix. So it's going to be random. And at this price point, guys, I would not expect, especially initially when all they're worried about is getting these out at their quality level that they need to be. I don't think there's going to be a lot of, perfectly matched scales, guys. They do have a little bit different character. That showcases the copper a little bit more. That side does. And this side showcases the carbon fiber a little more. But both of them are attractive. And it is truly a random material, so I don't mind that at all. It's not like putting, wood scales on something and putting flame maple on one side and putting mahogany on the other side. It's not like that at all. It's just sort of in the character of what it's, this side is just like, boom on the copper, and it's awesome, guys. It is awesome. Look at that foil. It's not just little flat pieces of foil. They've got so much texture, almost like raw gold does if you mine gold. It's just crazy, guys. It is crazy how good this handle material looks. So no issues in fit and finish anywhere on this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just rambling in this review because I see something I want to talk about when I'm in the middle of something else. So let's get back to what we normally do. Let's talk about action next. The detent, awesome. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Perfect. Nice, firm, big, explosive detent, guys. And this knife doesn't have the biggest flipper tab in balance with its overall size. Look at that. So what they are getting in the mechanics of this is, instead of using a big lever, what they've done is they've used a bigger detent to hold more kinetic energy before it breaks free. And the relationship between the flipper tab and the pivot is absolutely correct. You've got a forward raked pivot here that you're really going to actuate on that forward tip, guys, giving it a combination of light switch and push button, rolling around the perceived radius of this pivot. And it's explosive. It's awesome, guys. And this thing is so smooth. It is so smooth, guys. All I didn't clean it. I haven't touched the pivot. It was a very clean feeling. I didn't sense any dust and dirt in the pivot at all, guys. All I did was I pulled it out. I wiped the blade down with some Tough Glide. Just wiped it off. And then I came to each side of the pivot here, and I put one drop of oil. And then I, beat the oil down to the bearings, and then I've just been flipping it. That's all I did. It's not a tune-up or anything like that, and I'm not going to take this apart. I don't see any reason to. It's perfectly centered. We can see that it's got skeletonized liners like the Incite does. The lockup, guys, here's your lockup. It's nice and early, but very solid. There's no play in any direction. I can easily flex the blade with no play in the pivot at all. There is no play, guys. There's no radial play either against the lock face. A very well fitted liner lock. Like I say, the centering, straight down the center. Straight down the center, guys. This is Civivi's a beast of a company right now, guys. They are a beast of a company. All right. So, Baz on Blades, are you going to recommend the Civivi Incite Shred and Damascus. Let me think about that a second. Hell yeah, I am. No doubt, guys. This is right now. And I don't know how it's going to be beat. I don't know how it's going to be beat. This is right now the champ. This is going into 2020, guys. This is so far budget knife of the year. At the high end of the budget realm, yes, but still under that $100 cutoff that I use. And yeah, I'm going to recommend this, guys. Whether you get the copper foil or the gold foil, you know, Baz on Blades does not like gold. But for those of you that like it, get it. It's going to look totally awesome, guys. Totally awesome. Like I say, I picked this up at White Mountain Knives. They are sold out right now. They are sold out, guys. Go over there and sign up for email notifications for restocking. And as soon as they restock, they'll send out the notification. The first few drops of this, you're going to have to be pretty quick, I think. I'd say, depending on stock levels, it'll sell out within a couple of days until, you know, supply catches up with initial demand. So I'm going to recommend it. We're going to take it outside and see what we see here in the natural light, guys. Forgive the shakiness here because we can't. Hey, Baz on Blades dining room, you've got a compressor, a table saw, a couple of target stands. That's my dining room, guys. There's no dinette set there, but there is man stuff. Let's see, we're going to go outside here, and we're going to see what we see. It's very overcast here. Very overcast, guys. I'm afraid this isn't going to do you any good. But we'll see what we see right here. I hope that's coming across, guys. I hope it is. We go to this side. Yeah, this is a little disappointing for Baz on Blades. The sun was out 30 seconds ago. And now it's not. So, guys, that's what you've got under some very subdued natural lighting. And again, there's your Damascus. Yeah, that Damascus looks real good under the subdued lighting outside. But there is your handle material right there, guys. Go out and get this thing. Go out and get this thing. Sign up for notifications on it and get it. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, guys. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my videos. I very much enjoyed bringing this knife to you, and I hope you get in on this. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.